Hi, my name is Carlos, and today we're reviewing the Certina Action Diver in this awesome two-tone with blue dial configuration. This is a Certina Action Diver. This is a watch that is very interesting to me because it has a couple of really interesting features. One is a ISO certified Swiss-made diver. Two, it's got a self-winding mechanical movement with an 80-hour power reserve. And three, it retails for less than $1,000. So if you're in the market for a pretty serious tool watch with classic Swiss styling, the Certina Action Diver is one that you're definitely going to want to check out. Before we go any farther into this review, I do want to point out that the folks over at Certina were nice enough to send me this particular watch for review. I do not get to keep the watch. The watch will be going back to the folks over at Certina as soon as the review is over. This basically means that I get to evaluate the watch and give you my honest opinion about my impressions handling and wearing this watch for the amount of time that I get to keep it. As usual, Certina had absolutely no input on the making of this video. So Certina is a very interesting brand in the watch space. They're not the most popular in the United States, but they are owned by the Swatch Group, which owns other brands such as Omega, Longines, Blancpain, and other entry luxury brands such as Tissot, Hamilton, and Mido. Certina is a brand that's pretty interesting because they've actually been around for around 130 years, and their biggest claim to fame is the DS concept, which I believe stands for double security, which basically means that they've really focused on making watches that are both shock resistant and water resistant. So having robust tool adventure style watches has always been kind of part of their DNA. Okay, so with all that said, let's get into the fit and finish. The fit and finish of the Action Divers is one that is actually pretty awesome for those that are just looking for reliable tool watches that are basically everyday watches, your classic Swiss sports watch. The case of the Action Diver is very no thrills. It is pretty angular. There's absolutely no decorative bevels. It is mostly brushed. I don't think that I found any polishing in this particular case, and they really lean into that classic sports watch design language established by other Swiss brands such as Rolex and Tudor. Being that the entire design ethos of this watch is that of being an everyday tool watch that you can take anywhere and do anything with, the case sports really robust crown guards that really protect the screw down crown that operates the internals of the watch. The dial is a beautiful blue matte dial with very nice overlaid gold markers, and on the outside of the dial you will see a very nice chapter ring with second markings. At the 12 o'clock we see the very nice Certina branding along with the year of the company's inception, while at the 6 o'clock we see the powermatic branding as well as the Divers 300 that lets us know that this is a properly ISO certified divers watch with a water resistance of 300 meters. At the 3 o'clock of the dial we're able to see the very clean date complication, and to round up the dial we have the second, hour, and minute hands, which are all very nicely polished with gold accents. For people that are really into lume, you will be very pleased to find out that the markers and hands are also very nicely lumed, and the sapphire crystal that wraps up the entire dial is very nicely coated with anti-reflective to make sure that we always get a clean and crispy view of the dial. The bezel on this watch is pretty much fantastic. It is a very nice 120 click unidirectional bezel with a ceramic insert. Let's get a little sound clip of this guy. Very nice gold accents on the markings, and a very classy and well-loomed peep at the 12 o'clock of the bezel. The coin style bezel markings are very nice and allow for very easy operation of the bezel. This particular watch offers a solid case back with a very nicely engraved turtle that has become kind of the marquee branding for Certina and their DS Action Divers. The bracelet and end links for this particular watch are one of the highlights of this configuration. Starting with the links, they are very nice and of solid construction. However, unfortunately, these links are not equipped with quick release spring bars. The lugs themselves, however, are very nicely fitted and are very tight and solid on the watch. Both the end links and the bracelet are completely brushed with absolutely no polished details, which means that for those of you that really like that tool watch look, you are going to be very happy with the finishing of this watch. All of the gold accents that you see on the watch are created via the process of PVD coating, and the Y style shape of the links makes it so that the bracelet overall is very fluid, very comfortable, and so that it does not pull any hair. One of the things that I really love about this bracelet is that it's made up of a combination of large and small links, and there are plenty of small links lengths, which means that even without resorting to the adjustable clasp, you should be able to get a really nice fit by having a combination of small and large links that you can remove to get that bracelet just right. As usual, the clasp on the Certina watches is the same clasp that is used by Mido, which features that really nice on-the-fly adjustment. This is definitely one of my favorite clasps because it basically allows you to adjust the length of the bracelet on the fly without ever having to take the bracelet off. The clasp itself is mostly brushed with just a very tiny bevel on the edges that has been polished, and of course the nice laser edge Certina logo right by the twin pushers that are used to release the clasp. As usual, I test all of the watches that I review on a time grapher and I test them across 6 positions. This particular watch was decently accurate across all 6 positions. The average time loss and time gain was basically plus 5.8 seconds per day, with the fastest position being plus 10 seconds, while the slowest position was minus 10 seconds, giving us an overall max deviation across all positions of around 11 seconds. The DS Action Diver features a self-winding mechanical movement that is also known as the Swatch Group's Powermatic. MSRP for this watch is $995 US, which puts it right underneath that sub $1,000 sweet spot. And I think that this is really one of the best things to point out about this particular watch, that when you look at the combination of everything that you're getting with that workhorse Powermatic movement, that solid tool watch construction, the ISO certification with the 300 meters of water resistance, you're getting a pretty solid Swiss-made diver's watch that is pretty hard to beat at the price. All right, so let's get into the likes and dislikes. So some of the things that I really like about this particular watch are, one, I like the two-tone combination. When I was younger, I wasn't a big fan of gold or gold accents. It's something that at the time when I was younger, it seemed very tacky. But as I get older, I don't know what exactly is changing, but now I'm actually kind of developing an appreciation for gold. And so for me, this particular combination of colors with the blue and the gold, I think actually look really, really phenomenal. And also, you know, when you really think about like blue, gold, and silver as a color palette, you know, you're really pulling from a really classy royal palette. It's a watch that is not very expensive, but it does feel like something that's actually very elegant and very royal due to the color choice execution. The other thing that I really love about this particular watch is the use of small links and large links. It's very rare that you see a bracelet that has so many small links giving you so many fitment options. So I think that this is something that is absolutely awesome that they did. The other thing that I really like about this watch is that I really like the fact that it has basically no polishing on the case or on the bracelet. You're getting 100% radial brushed surfaces that not only make the watch look absolutely phenomenal, but you know that you're not going to pick up all of those weird micro scratches that make, you know, bracelets with polished middle links look kind of ugly after, you know, short amount of ownership. So I think that the choice of finishing this completely brushed is something that is just going to make this watch look much nicer for a longer period of time. Plus, it really sticks to the fact that this watch is supposed to be a tool watch and not necessarily something that is like super flashy. Obviously, the use of silver and gold is going to give it a little bit of flashiness. At least on the finishing, the watch is pretty reserved. As far as dislikes, there's not really much to dislike in this package. I think that if you like the style of the watch, the price is gonna be pretty hard to beat. However, if I was to criticize something about the watch, there would probably be only really 2 things that stand out. The first one is I would have loved to see quick release spring bars on the end links. I think that that's something that they're starting to do with other watches, especially just in general, Swatch Group brands have been a little bit better of putting quick release spring bars on some of their newer watches, especially when they don't come with a bracelet. But overall, I would like to see these just get passed down to every single watch on the Swatch brand, and this watch is no exception. I think it would be very, very nice to have those quick release spring bars, or maybe if they had drill lugs, that would have been pretty phenomenal, as it would add to the toolness aspect of the watch. The only other thing that I think that is not necessarily a negative or a dislike, but I think that this is something that just needs to be talked about, is kind of the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that this particular watch is very reminiscent reminiscent of Tudor and Rolex variants. In particular, I think that there is a Rolex Submariner or a Yachtmaster that has a very similar two-tone vibe that is also matched with a blue bezel and dial. For some people that might seem incorrect, but for some people that might actually be a plus, because you're getting something that is very Rolex-like and is very functional and very high quality, but you're getting it like at pretty much a fraction of the price, like 1/10 of the price. But anyways, let me know what you think about the Certina Action Diver line, and in particular, what you think about this blue dial, blue ceramic insert two-tone watch. How do you feel about the two-tone accents? Are you like me, that as you get older, you have also developed an appreciation for gold and gold accents? Or is gold still something that just seems pretty tacky to you, something that you are not necessarily willing to jump on? Also, how do you feel about the resemblance of this particular watch to that sort of like heritage Submariner look? Like, is this a watch that you feel is a little bit too close? If it is that a good thing for you? Is that a bad thing for you? Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. That'd be freaking amazing. And last but not least, I'm also curious to know from your end, because I probably learn a lot more from you guys leaving comments than you guys probably learned from my videos. But I'm curious, are there other sub $1,000 Swiss-made ISO certified divers that you think can compete with these or probably be even better? I would be really curious for you to share some of those watches with me so I can take a look at them and see if I can get them on the channel. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Definitely leave me comments. You know, I do my best to answer any comments that you guys leave pretty much as soon as you guys leave them. Every time you guys leave a comment and I get to have a little chat with some of you guys, you know, that always makes me feel like really good about the work that I'm doing here on the channel. Thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of the video, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.